Hello, hello, hello. We're going to be playing a little lesser known game. It's not really indie, but it's a little under the radar. The game is called Killing Floor. It is kind of Left 4 Dead 2-y. Basically, you play as a character who has to defend against waves of zombies. Well, not zombies, but, you know, typical tropey virus mutation experiment enemies. It's the Christmas event, so the clots are dressed up as elves, so we will be killing elves. I hope that doesn't offend your sensibilities too much. We'll also be killing Santa. There, Santa dead. Off with his head. So, a little bit about Killing Floor. It's made by Triple Air Interactive. It is a kind of a smaller company. I think this is the only game that I actually know that they've done. But it is pretty good, so I think that justifies it, at the very least. I don't want to call them indie because I don't actually know how big they are. But they're a little under the radar either way, so it's really interesting. Now, this particular map has 10 waves in it. We're going to try and narrow these down to about 10 to 20 minutes or so. I'm going to run through. We're going to kill some zombies. At the end of each wave, you have the ability to go to the trader and buy weapons. Now, I'm playing the Berserker class, which is a melee class. As you can see, I'm running around hitting things with my knife. Going to hop to the trader. Let's buy an axe. I have some questions to axe these zombies. I'm just gonna run around. And I'm actually making this video because it's incredibly cold outside. No particular reason for that. It's just somewhere in my mind those two points of logic connected. I went, it's cold outside, let's make a video, yay! So, ooh, Kevlar. So armor works interestingly. It splits the damage that you take while you have armor, so you don't die from the giant bursts. But there are things that really degenerate armor, so I want to keep an eye out for that. Still, in between rounds, you just kind of want to run around, pick up things. That's why you want to get done shopping as soon as you can, because I wouldn't have found that Kevlar if I hadn't gone down there. So wave 2. So far we've seen 2 enemies, the Christmas Clot and the Christmas Bloat. The Bloat was Santa Claus. We're going to see some more this round. The axe is pretty nice. The axe has a longer range than normal weapons. This is the Gorefast. They have candy canes for arms. And our gingerbread men. That is a... I forget what he's called. He shoots fireballs. There's the Stalker. They are currently dressed up as slutty female Santas. It's apparently a thing. And that's a Crawler. I bet you can figure out what it does from its name. Now, Crawlers are annoying. They leap at you. And Stalkers are annoying because they're invisible. So we wanna kind of lead the Crawler. Right now we have Kevlar, so if we get hit by a Crawler, it takes away our armor, which kind of sucks. But the wave's easy enough. Alright, so that's the last monster in the wave. If we get his head, he doesn't die instantly, but we missed it the first time. Hit his body. So he's a loser. And now we're just gonna run around. You can weld doors if you want. That's a thing.
Up close and personal time.
It's useful, but not really right now. The monsters aren't hard enough. I think I'm playing on normal difficulty. This is just a server that I have up. Other people can join, and if they do, I guess we'll play with them. But if they don't, we won't.
I want to get out of here.
Running into walls. Alright. We have 20 seconds for Trader left. We probably should have gotten down here earlier. Axe sells for 374. Katana is 1,000. Dang. Oh, well, we'll get it next time. Alright, next wave is coming in.
Do a good job, and I'll be waiting.
I repaired my Kevlar because I usually don't even have Kevlar at this point, but it's like 24 monies to repair. This is actually made by a British company, which is why all of the narrations are in British accented English. That's a siren. They scream. It's like a witch, except witches are more of the murdery, clawy type. So, very similar to my ex-girlfriend. Alright. We've killed 3 Santas so far. You need to stop multiplying. Oops. And that's what the, those things do. I should figure out what they're called. The snowman. Frosty the Snowman shoots fireballs. I don't know, I don't question it. It just is. Ah! I should have killed them. Then there's dead time. Basically when you get headshots for things, you can enter the slow-mo. The slow-mo affects everybody online. And it's not spammy, it doesn't happen all the time, so it just makes it a little bit easier to aim sometimes in high-stress situations, which is kind of cool. The problem with playing multiplayer is sometimes if you play a class that likes to run out on its own, like the Berserker, you just get like random Z time in the middle of nowhere and you just be like, well, now I'm moving slowly, and I have nothing to do. As the Berserker, I get more benefits for using melee weapons. I get reduced damage taken, which is nice. The game does have a little bit of weapon DLC. For the most part, the weapons are just straight side grades. There are things like the bone saw bow, which are just like completely broken, that I kind of think should be included in the base game because it's so good. There's not really anything else like it. I suppose you could use the crossbow, but the crossbow can't clear like giant hordes of monsters like the bone saw bow can. But I'll show that off too. There are several classes in the game. Berserker is a melee class. You can go Assault, which is submachine guns and rifles. They have the ability to see invisible units and see enemy health too, which is important on the big monsters. Now I'm switching to the axe for those because the axe is slightly more powerful, so I can kill them in a single swing. It's just slower. So, like clearing out the rattle here, I want the slower weapon because the damage isn't relevant. Those things just have a really high amount of health. Their heads are really weak though, so headshotting them is the best way to deal with them. Even if you're a non-shooting class. Also the support specialist who has a better time welding. They use shotguns. Sharpshooter, which uses crossbows and rifles, like sniper rifles.
Don't you?
Though they're really more just like regular rifles. The crossbow's the sniper. Alright, I think we are good for now. We don't really need anything. So we're moving on to wave 5. Maybe we'll start seeing some different enemies here. What else do we have? We have the Pyro, which is fire, the Demolitions, which is explosives. They don't really have much of a benefit other than being those two things. Demolitions are really good because the very end boss of the game, they can just kill him outright. You don't even have to try. You just do it. He just dies. Game over. Which is funny. But needless to say, there's a variety of classes for a variety of gameplay styles. There's also medic.
That's some good stuff I sold you.
You have a syringe gun. You can heal other people or heal yourself with it. So you really only have to worry about burst damage, though if you don't have Kevlar, you're probably going to die in one hit in the later waves. Unless you're reasonably good. Alright, so let's see here. Those things have kind of a high swing timer too. Sort of bait them. Come on. Come on, little reindeer. The bloats will try and spit on you if they have a head. And when they spit on you, it eats your Kevlar. Which nobody will ever claim is a good thing. Don't let them lie to you. Alright, come on. Come on. Come at me, bro. Ah! They're coming at me! Okay, so that was less than elegant. Nobody ever claimed I was perfect. Except I am.
I'll tool you up just right.
So, I live in Minnesota. It has been like negative 25 wind chill out for the past 2 days, and I have not left the house. That is technically not correct. I left the house for one thing. I went to go get groceries because I was out of food. That's kind of an important part to living. So, I left the house for those, and unfortunately, I got home, and it took me like 2 trips to get groceries inside, or like 3 or something. And I live in an apartment building where the door is locked to get into the actual complex. And it doesn't have those 2-stage doors like the newfangled fancy made for apartment buildings. This is kind of a renovated building, from my understanding. So, you actually have to unlock the door outside. Now, it was so cold that you take your gloves off, and you would immediately become numb in the hand. So, I had to carry groceries in and unlock the door, but I couldn't feel my hand because the moment I took the gloves off, I lost all feeling in my hand. So I had to find the keys in my pocket without actually knowing what I was feeling. And that's just an indication of how cold it is right now. It's crazy. Alright, it's wave 6 right now. I'm going to clear out this wave. Make a little pause in the video. We'll go from there. Die thing. Oh, I didn't mention that we'd be killing Rudolph, but if you have any attachment to Rudolph, you decide to play during the Christmas event, which I believe runs until the 11th? I want to say 11th. Don't quote me on that. I sincerely hope that you have full intention of killing Santa and Rudolph, because they will die. Okay, new enemy. That is a Scrake. They have a chainsaw on their arm in the non-Christmas version of the game. If you damage them enough, you can probably hear the chainsaw. If you damage them enough, they will charge at you. So the best way to kill them is to stun them while they die. You can do that by getting headshots on them with heavy hitting weapons. So I can stun them. Sharpshooters can crossbow them in the face to stun them. And that's about it. Everything else you kind of need to kill them quick. Because they will charge at you and they deal a lot of damage, as you can see.
The shop is open, boys.
Alright, so we're going to take a little break in the video here. We'll have part 2 up. That should be the final part. We're at wave 7. So, until then, see you on the next one.